Hello everyone, Vinny again. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much to everyone that's been involved, engaged, given me feedback. It's really helped. It's been a lot of fun so far. I'm going to continue bringing out these videos. Of course, we're sticking with this series at the moment. So today we're going to go into the third tip. Now, tip 3 was to do with cutting the ties with the things that are holding you back at the moment, that are making you feel restricted or that are just generally hurting your well-being. So I'm going to break this video down into 3 different parts. I'm going to have essentially 3 tips within this tip. So tip 1 is to cut out the people that are holding you back. Now this could be a friend who's just in a constant negative spiral and doesn't want any help getting better. They just want you to be down there with them. This could be the people who are always shouting down your dreams, telling you that it's unrealistic, reminding you of times that you failed before. Maybe they are just generally negative towards you when they're talking about anything to do with you. Maybe they just constantly point out your flaws. They just remind you that you're not perfect just on a regular basis. Even if it seems like it's polite and like good feedback, it's not. There's always that like undertone where it's just they maybe don't like you as much as you thought in the first place. Perhaps it's someone that's needed your help before and maybe has given you the help before, but now they're just acting as if you owe them something all the time. It's important to take a step back and really look at the big picture of exactly what they offer you and what you offer them, because you could be in a negative spiral with them. They could be bouncing off you and the things that you're saying as well. Off the back of cutting some of these people out, you could find that you end up with very little friends, like maybe only 10% left of what you had in the first place, or what you thought you had in the first place. But what I want to remind you is the quality of your friends and the people in your community, your family, is much more valuable than the quantity. The quality will improve your life, but the quantity won't. It's not abnormal to have 3 really good friends and possibly even only talk to like 3 family members. Of course, you might look around and see some people that have got loads more than that and want what they've got. But I would just write that off. Ignore that. Your life is your life and it's different from everyone else's. It's perfectly fine to have low maintenance relationships. Maybe you only talk to someone once a year. Maybe you only see someone once every 5 years. Maybe you don't really talk at all anymore, only when something comes up that you have a similar interest in. And these are okay. It's not a reason to write someone off. If you're both enriching each other's lives and you can bat off each other and you're supporting each other, that's perfectly fine. And on the flip side of that, just because someone's around you all of the time doesn't entitle them to be a part of your inner circle. What I found in this kind of situation, the best thing to do, was some advice that a really old friend gave me a long time ago, is to be your own best friend. What would you say in that situation to your best friend if they were to be going through the same thing that you are? And you have to love yourself before you love anyone else. You can't really offer that emotion if you can't offer it to yourself first. And by that, what I mean is, you can't just assume that love trumps everything. It gets too much of a free ride, in my opinion, to just as an emotion. It just always seems to trump everything else. The whole, oh, but I love that person, isn't really a good excuse. So on to tip number 2. It's to basically cut down your goals and the things that you're interested in. Essentially, just get rid of all of the goals that you're not going to achieve. You have to take a second look at them. You have to reevaluate. Be completely honest with yourself and reevaluate often through the year. There's nothing wrong with changing goals. Life changes rapidly. There are things that happen. For example, if you were to get pregnant this year, it's a stupid time to try and lose weight. You're going to continually get heavier anyway. So the best way to evaluate if your goals are any good for you is to use a thing called SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So specific, the more specific you can be, the better. For example, if you're learning a language, you want to learn specifically 750 new words this year in that language. And you can go more specific than that. I want to learn specifically how to say 750 different words in a specific language that I can use to introduce myself. Now they're also going to be measurable. I've already touched on that a bit. We're talking about 750 different words when learning a language. By that I would see exactly at that point, I've reached 750 words, I've achieved my goal. Attainable, you've got to be really honest with yourself. You've got to have a look at what your actual abilities are. If there's something that you are really good at and you just seem to learn really, really quickly, there's nothing wrong with having a very high level of achievement at the end of your attaining your goal. But if realistically you're working 70 hours a week, you aren't gonna spend all of your time doing this one thing. For example, just sticking with learning a language, if you're only learning 1 minute a day, then you're gonna have to really limit the amount of words and maybe cut that all the way down to 200. That essentially gives you 6 hours a year to learn 200 different words. You have to be honest with yourself. Do you think you can do that? It has to be relevant, it has to be worthwhile to you. There's no point in going and learning something that you don't really care about, obviously. And like I said before, if you're pregnant, there's no point in trying to lose weight. You're not gonna. So it's not the right type of time for you to be setting yourself that kind of goal. And finally, time bound. So you would actually put a time constraint on how long you're giving yourself to achieve that goal. So you don't just spend all year doing it or keep procrastinating and putting it onto the next week. You also don't always have to be thinking what's next after you've achieved your goal. Please take some time to witness and enjoy your achievements. Finish a goal, take a break and look at yourself and be like, I've done that today. Just take as much time as you can to recognize your personal growth, no matter how small it is. You will start to prove to yourself that you can achieve these things that you're setting, and slowly these goals can get more and more extreme as you go on. It's also really important to remember that no education, no training can ever entitle you to be good at something. You will get better at what you're practicing either way, but what it doesn't guarantee is that you're going to come away and be the best at something. It takes exceptional talent to be the best at anything, and that's completely okay. You don't have to hate yourself because you're not the best. It's okay to be good and still not in that league, which is just maybe even getting paid for what you do, depending on what goals you're setting for yourself. Just make sure that you're taking time to enjoy the journey. That's the life experience. If all of your goals require you to be at the top level after you finish practicing, they're not realistic goals. They're not good goals. And you're just going to keep coming away feeling worse and worse about yourself for not being the best. It's okay to be good. The final thing that's holding you back is paralysis by analysis. And I find this with pretty much everyone. I'm guilty of it. I think everyone I know has been guilty of it at some point. You need to completely let it go. There is no, I'll be a bit healthier once I buy this gym equipment. There's no, I'll eat better when I've done a cookery class or bought this recipe book. You have to start working on your goals now, today, and be bad to start with. And don't be scared of being bad. Everyone is bad when they first start doing something. I mean, you can see from the state of my YouTube videos so far, I've had some really good feedback and I'm trying to improve every single time. But all I did was get out there, grab my phone, and I just started. Don't let the fear of something, the fear of being bad at something hold you back. If you're finding that the fear of the difficulty of the goals that you've set is really paralyzing, you've probably not set good goals. They're probably not in accordance with the SMART goals that I just talked about before. The current world situation is not a viable excuse. Not having enough time is not a viable excuse. Like I said, you can learn something new by just having 1 minute a day. Needing to purchase something is also not a viable excuse. You have to allow yourself the possibility of failure. You might practice and practice and practice and never get good, but you just enjoy that. Just enjoy that. That's part of your personality. You're this person that isn't very good at cycling. You're this person who isn't very good at football. That's fine. Just keep failing and failing. If you're enjoying it, just keep failing. Why not? And hopefully you'll continue to enjoy yourself while you're doing it. If you're not enjoying yourself, maybe this isn't a goal for you. Maybe you need to reevaluate again. So I can't stress enough, start today. Start today. It doesn't matter how it works, doesn't matter how it starts. Doesn't matter what you need to get started, just start badly. Don't ever let the fear of something hold you back. Don't let what you think other people will think of what you're doing hold you back. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate any engagement, any feedback. Please feel free to leave a comment below if there's something else that you want to talk about, if there's something that you want me to talk about. Let me know if you enjoyed the video by liking the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. And finally, good luck with your goals, because I really think that if you follow the things that I have said from my very first video, that you will genuinely improve this year. We're all already on the right path to being our best selves. I know I already am. I will share soon with you all of my goals and the things that I have already achieved in just this first month this year. And with that, that's all from me. Thank you very much, guys. See you later.